Hi everyone, I'm Ken from Crypto Trading KS. If you're new, welcome, and welcome back to our regular community. Let's run the numbers. Bitcoin currently trading at 31,248, down 1.57%. Ethereum currently trading at 1863, down 5.05%. If you're new here, I'd just like to let you know that everything I do for you is free. Twice a day, 7 days a week, I share my experience as a full-time crypto trader. My goal is to assist you to be more of a financial blessing to yourself and those you love. I'd like to share Rule 706 with you, See Beyond. In the last episode, episode 134, we discussed why some experts misunderstand Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. We explained throughout history, new inventions have taken a long time to develop and then commercialize. We started with the idea of flight and paralleled it to Bitcoin. Rule 706, See Beyond, is all about trying to gather data to understand the potential of certain things. We understand with Bitcoin, it has enormous potential. It's really good to understand that cryptocurrencies are the foundation of the next internet, the internet of value. They facilitate a lot of things that will reflect the traditional financial system into the intangible space. I'll provide the link to this Medium article I wrote this morning so you can read it through. It's really interesting. I think there's a lot of value in this for you, especially on your investing and trading journey. In episode 131, we had secret tips on how to pick strong crypto alts, and we covered literally over 100 different altcoins. We did that with this cute little character, Golem, in mind. The proposition was that Golem came to you with $50,000 of Golem's life savings, and he wanted you to invest that money into 3 alts. How have you gone? Have you managed to do more research? Have you followed up? When you pick something, it's really important to follow up with a lot of research. How do you go about researching your coins for investment? Please let us know in the comments. We're a very, very supportive community. You can learn a lot of things from each other. It's an ideal place to share. And also, we have free Facebook groups, free Discord groups, and of course Twitter is free as well. And you can always reach out and direct message me on Twitter. There are no paid groups on our channel inside our community. Everything we do is free. I love reading the comments and seeing so many people help other people. That's truly beautiful. It's a wonderful community to be a part of. Please reach out. There was a comment in the last video from Tawny Barber. Thank you, Tawny. Tawny was wondering, Tawny had heard that there was a 100-day rule for Bitcoin. Basically, it meant over the 12 years of Bitcoin's history, if the price was maintained above a certain price for 100 days, it didn't go below it. Now, the thing is that real? What I would like to do is to introduce you again to the concept of seeing things with no bias. One of the problems is that as we look at rules like this and believe them, we start to fit a reality that may not be reflected. It's really important just to observe the price action. We can have guides, we can have guidelines, but the most important thing is that we're always flexible. Every day when I get up to make the first video, I always assume that everything is wrong, and then I set out to see what the market tells us. I'm always seeking to invalidate the proposition of the model, the proposition of the highs that it goes to, the bear market lows that it goes to, everything, literally. The absolute minimum price that Bitcoin should reach at $132,418. All of these things I seek to invalidate every day. A lot of people start with bias and they try to confirm their models or thoughts or ideas. I do the exact opposite. Why? Because I don't really mind if it's a bull market, a bear market, consolidation. I only care that I'm on the right side of the market. Bull, bear, and consolidation each have their own unique opportunities. We can make money in any of them together. It's not a problem. I've noticed, especially on Twitter, that a lot of people are concerned that there's going to be a huge spike down. This is really good to understand. This was covered in episode 129 when we looked at the Bitcoin RSI analysis. This is back in the 2016 halving cycle. You can see the price made a push up and then came down. It had a spike down and then rallied all of 60.55% in the span of 3 days. Just be aware, Bitcoin is very volatile. At the moment, all on-chain and off-chain data supports that Bitcoin is going higher. This is a classic short squeeze here, designed to pull shorts in and liquidate them. We have to be really, really careful. If you're going short, please be careful and manage your position really closely. As a community, we go through the T-cube method: trend, timing, and trigger. It's according to Rule 174. The trend component was covered in episode 134. We cover the timing method in this video. The first thing that we do when it comes to timing is we look at the news headlines as if we don't know anything about crypto whatsoever. So let's go for it. Bitcoin miner seeks new funds. Well, that seems pretty positive. Former heavyweight champion, boxing champion Mike Tyson. Okay, it's about ATMs. He tweeted about Bitcoin. Ooh, that's pretty cool. That's positive. Bitcoin mining gets easier. Wow, that's good. Bitcoin mining difficulty falls. Well, it's good to be easier. Difficulty falling is another way of saying easier. What's this? Bitcoin mining rigs steamrolled by cops. Ooh, bad boys, what you gonna do? Bitcoin mining operations rise in the US and Kazakhstan. Wow, everything's about Bitcoin mining. Malaysian police destroy 1,069 Bitcoin mining rigs. Oh, that's not very nice. Fed takes on stable coins. Interesting. Remember, in a previous episode, we look at central bank digital currency. That particular episode was episode 127. Why central bank digital currencies will speed Bitcoin's adoption. You can have a look at that one. There's a lot of research in there. I think it will help very much. Let's whip back to the news. Developers are bringing Bitcoin into the mainstream. Ooh, that's pretty positive. Nearly 70% would hodl Bitcoin. What's hodl, you say? It's hold. It's a typo that became famous. If Bitcoin drops below $3,000, wow. Yeah, that's kind of a negative, isn't it? Well, it's going to go down so much. Yeah, that's not supported by the trend. This is exactly why we do the trend analysis. If you don't know the trend, you may think that this is possible. Right now, nothing suggests that. So let's go a little bit deeper in. Let's have a look at the number of transfers to exchanges across all exchanges. You can see here the previous peak, this ramp up of exchanges to exchanges. This is where we are now. Things are looking pretty good. Let's have a look at the net transfer volume from and to exchanges, all exchanges. We can see it's turning red. It turned green when there was selling off, and it's turned red now. Things are accumulating. And this is exactly what the trend is telling us as well. I'd like to do a quick shout out to Kerry Chambers. Kerry is an amazing community member, so supportive. Thank you, Kerry, for everything you do. Kerry recommended check Onchain.com. This is a really, really interesting long-term fear and greed index perspective. When the fear and greed index goes low, there is extreme fear. When it gets up to these high points, there is extreme optimism or greed. We can see when extreme fear is in the market at these times, it presents very good buying opportunities. Just something to bear in mind. Let's have a look at crypto total market cap. Now, what is this thing saying? We go in here and we look at the graph. Now, what is this telling you? If you were to look at it, what does it mean? Do you notice this overhead resistance has turned into support? This is showing strength. It may not appear that way, but under the hood, this is actually repairing. We can see it in the price action. What's above here? This is structural resistance. If structural resistance is a new term for you, I'd suggest that you look at episode 93, drawing structural support and structural resistance. I take you really slowly, step by step, through the guide of how to draw up your own charts. You don't need indicators, you don't need anything like that for support and resistance. You just need the skill. And that skill I'm trying to transfer to you in that particular episode. I hope it helps. So what we see here, this strong resistance, structural resistance, is exerting downward pressure on all the crypto market, but there's consolidation here. It's finding support. The current total market cap of crypto is $1.26 trillion. Let's have a quick look through the stablecoin supply ratio, SSR, oscillator. We can see stablecoins are still being deployed into Bitcoin. Let's have a look at Bitcoin's technical analysis. Bitcoin is currently trading at 31,231. It's just above support at 31,111. And the next level of support is 30,500. The next level of resistance above is 32,054. And the major one that we're keeping our eye on is 32,414. Now, what does this mean? What is this chart telling you? Every chart has a story. It's our job to try and uncover that story as objectively as we can. We can see downward structural resistance, tried to turn support, had this structural resistance and pushed it back down. Tried again, tried again, tried again. And it's coming down to a point where it's seeking to make a move up to this resistance. One of the really, really interesting things, technical analysis in normal markets is very different from TA in exponential markets like this one. Remember how I showed you a similar scenario in the 2016 halving cycle? This is from episode 129. You have full explanation in there. The concept is this downward spike, if it occurs, will be very short-lived and will fuel the next rise up. There is nothing to be concerned about. It's always really good to remember that price is always moving in a wave. It's going up and then it's coming down. It's going up and coming down. It's always like this. All prices move in a wave. Let's have a look at the longs and the shorts for Bitcoin. We can see the shorts here in red have been being taken out of the market while the longs are increasing. Let's check with Ethereum. We can see a very similar pattern. The shorts are coming out of the market and the longs had a decrease and they've stabilized, a little bit of an increase in those. Let's check out maxpain for options expiration at the end of the month, July 30th. We can see maxpain has actually come down by $1,000 from 36 to 35. Max pain is where the majority of options expire worthless. It's useful to track the max pain number. It gives us some kind of indication about where price may be heading. Somebody reached out to me in the comments and asked if I could explain a little bit more about that. Max pain is not necessarily a magnet. Even though we draw it on the chart, it doesn't mean the price always gravitates to it. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. We know that Bitcoin's price right now is 31,253. This max pain price of 35,000 gives us an indication that the end of the month, people are expecting the price to go up on average. That's just a helpful kind of a pointer more than anything. Let's have a look at Ethereum's max pain price. That's still 2,400 for the end of the month options expiration. This is really fascinating. If we look at the calls calling up, they're for longs, putting down is for shorts. The puts, the shorts, have increased substantially in terms of Bitcoin. Now that's really interesting. Let's have a look at Ethereum. The calls have increased relative to the last time we called this out, and the puts have decreased. One thing that I see from this, as the number of puts increases, the number of options being struck for going short, expectation of lower prices, when those particular people go short, it's indicating to the market that other people will go short. That's exactly what we need to fuel rallies in Bitcoin and the crypto market. This short and long liquidations, both sides, cause massive down spikes and massive upside spikes. It's just a normal thing inside crypto. We look at total liquidations to get some sort of comprehension on how important price moves are. We can see that this 24-hour liquidation number is really low. It's 150.78 million. 45,561 traders were liquidated. Over the past 12 hours, about 82% of positions of liquidated positions were longs. If we look across time, we can see a very low number of liquidations compared to these spikes around this particular time. Let's have a look at the 15-minute, sort of zoom in. We can see a lot of longs being liquidated just recently. Let's have a look at fear and greed, psychological safety, and liquidations. We can see the options expiration max pain price here for Bitcoin was 36,000. It's now decreased. We're just making a note of that. Right now the market is experiencing extreme fear. That means the shorts have psychological safety. If you were brought in by the media at the top, you had psychological safety when you were buying. Right now the shorts have psychological safety. What happens when people get psychological safety? The rug tends to get pulled from underneath them. We really need to be careful and manage these psychological safety levels. That's why I always put it here, so we can keep informed as a community. I've seen so many stations on YouTube, as well as in the mainstream press, tout gloom and doom over the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust unlock, which is occurring right now. Now, the really important thing is to be able to understand it. I put episode 133 together for you. Why the Grayscale Bitcoin unlock, you shouldn't worry about it. You can have a look through that. There's quite a bit of research there. Everything I do is to help you out based on the current events. If there's anything that you would like me to cover, please pop it in the comments. I'm always more than happy to answer any questions I can for you. As part of our timing process, we always look through the top 7. The top 7 today: Bitcoin, Ethereum, Tether, Binance Coin, Cardano, USDC, and XRP. Let's have a look at the largest 24-hour percent gainers. Clayton, Ethereum Classic, well, this kind of gone down, hasn't it? They're pretty meek and mild. We can see that the stable coins are currently attracting value. Let's have a look at the past 24-hour percent losses. Axie Infinity, Stacks, Helium, Rune, Flow, Synthetics, and KCA. Let's check out the greatest 7-day percent gainers. NEM or XEM, Ravencoin, HBAR, Leo, and stable coins. Let's go the other way. The greatest losses over the past 7 days, Rune, Synthetics, TEL, KCS, Theta, Cello, and MATIC. Let's have a look at some bubbles. We can see over the past day, not really too much happening, is there? It's pretty red. Clayton, and a little bit on Ethereum. Let's change it to a weekly basis. This is cryptobubbles.net. SEM, XEM, XEM. So OKB, not much is happening. The markets are looking a little bit red. They're just getting ready for a big move, and the balance of probability that move is highly positive. I think it's really important to just give you a quick insight into technical violations. We get technical violations all the time in Bitcoin. There can be a solid line and it gets a technical violation, but these things are very quickly repaired. It's important to understand that if we move to such a technical violation, the probability is that that will be very short-lived. As part of our Community Edge, we look through the derivatives on Binance. We're particularly interested in the change in the price of the contract in the past 24 hours. This gives us an understanding of what is getting attention and what is losing attention, and how strong that move is when we look at the 24-hour trading volume and 24-hour open interest. 24-hour trading volume is 36.2 billion. 24-hour open interest is 6.6 billion. Now let's look through these percentages. We can see Bitcoin is under pressure, but Ethereum is under more pressure. Let's have a look down further. Axie Infinity is under a lot of price pressure here. It's losing interest. Sushi is also under price pressure. CHR is not. It's coming up 8.3%. This is a really interesting way to find things that are bucking the trend. As we look through, pretty much negative at the moment, but we know it's really low liquidation volume, so we're not that fussed about things. Everything inside the market is really designed to put things in context. We just basically take our fear and anxiety and just put it on the shelf. Let it play around over there. It doesn't help us when we come to investing and trading properly. Before I talked about a possibility of a technical violation, I think we're moving into one now. If we go back to the last cycle, the 2016 halving cycle, this is in episode 129, you'll see that there was a technical violation right here that was very short-lived. If people sold out at this stage, they would have missed a 60.55% increase and the next leg up. Just be really careful. Everything is pointing towards the Bitcoin cryptocurrency market as being very positive right now. Always remember, crypto is incredibly volatile. This is what I mean by prepare yourself for the best and the worst case scenarios. It's that volatility we need to psychologically manage. Let's have a look at Ethereum. Ethereum is quite a community favorite. If we look at this resistance line, turn to support, we've got this technical violation occurring at the moment, but seriously, I believe it will be very short-lived. I think this is just connected to people not understanding the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust unlock. In all probability, The other potential could be Janet Yellen discussing stablecoins with regulators today. Now, the real issue is that stablecoins do not replace cryptocurrencies or Bitcoin or anything like that. They actually provide a lot of guidance to the general public that digital currencies are A-OK and should be embraced. I think that episode 127 could be really, really good for you to look at. That will help you understand the role of central bank digital currencies and why they are not a problem. They're actually a blessing to crypto. Unfortunately, a lot of people don't understand central bank digital currencies. They don't understand the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. There are a lot of news outlets putting out a lot of stories full of fear, head and shoulders, going to zero, all of those kind of things. Nothing of that narrative is actually supported by the data, but it doesn't stop people from getting really, really freaked out. I know a lot of people reach out to me and they say, Ken, I'm really worried about what's going on. And I say, that's why we go through the trend. Everything is on track. We're at a very, very good position, but I know it's really hard to be in that position and see losses. Always remember, paper losses are on paper. They're not real. Fiat paper is fiat. It's just not real. A loss only becomes real when you sell it. If you just sit back and hold it and be strong, be tough, that is different. Everything on chain and everything else points to the psychological safety of the shorts. Those are the people that expect prices to go down, to be violated any day now. It's really important. Don't sell at the bottom. Currently, Ethereum is trading at 18.15. It's just above support at 17.94. It has support below at 17.44. It has resistance above at 18.32, 18.75, and structural resistance at 19.09. Let's have a look at BNB, Binance Coin. Binance Coin is currently trading at 284.35. It's just above support at 278.17, and there's structural support down below at 264.75. These kind of structural violations are very common in crypto. Remember, sharp angles reverse, tend to reflect. It's really important to know these things. Crypto moves 5.17 times faster than normal markets. It also has about 10 times minimum the volatility. Things move around really, really quickly in crypto. That's why doing leverage trading is so dangerous. You can get wiped out by things like this, and they happen all the time. BNB has resistance above at 291.52, 302.71, and 309. Let's have a look at ADA Cardano. Cardano, quite a community favorite. We can see this resistance line turn to support, and we should see support at this line as well. ADA is currently trading at 1.1376, just above support at 1.1207, at 1, and as well support at 1.0908. Resistance is above at 1.1645 and structural resistance at 1.2127. You may be feeling a lot of anxiety right now with this price movement. Please be aware of what one of the greatest fund managers on the planet said about that fear. Far more money has been lost by investors preparing for corrections or trying to anticipate corrections than has ever been lost in corrections themselves. A correction is a downward movement in prices. This is really, really important. Over the years, I've created literally thousands and thousands of rules that I share with you each day, twice a day. I share my rules with you to help you to think about how to trade. Those rules are really important. One of my rules, disregard potential corrections. It's really, really important. Just disregard them. Have no care, have no interest in them whatsoever. It will be one of the most profitable things that you can ever do. It's also really important to zoom out. When we talk about zooming out, it's also in terms of things like the return, your time horizon on your investment or your trading. You can see here from casebitcoin.com the year on year return over 10 years, over 9 years, over 8 years, over 7 years, over 6 years, over 5 years has been pretty much 100% plus. This is important. Over the past 6 years, if you had money in Bitcoin, it would be increasing by 120% per year each year for 6 years. That's different from gold increasing 9% from 1 year to the next, 9% compounding, and the S&P 500 13% year on year. You are literally in the best investment vehicle that has ever been created. You can look down here and see some returns. They're phenomenal, and these returns are wanted by fund managers. They're wanted by the large institutions, and they're really interested in getting them. That should give you some confidence as well. Let's have a look at XRP. XRP is currently trading at 55.89. You can see a previous technical violation that occurred on the 17th, a couple of days ago. You see that technical violation was repaired very quickly. There's a magnet around this particular line. It's a line of support and resistance, but those lines are typically magnets. They magnetize price. XRP has support below at 5,500 and support below that at 53.46. It has structural resistance here at 56.94 and resistance above that at 58.55. Let's have a look at Dogecoin. Dogecoin is currently trading at 17,129. We know that as Bitcoin moves, it moves the market. If you're new to the channel, I'll just show you what I mean. What I've done is to just overlay the actual price of Bitcoin. You can see it moving here. This is Bitcoin's fingerprint. It's superimposed on Doge. You can see that as Bitcoin comes down, Doge comes down. As Bitcoin comes up, Doge comes up. It's really important to be impartial about things. I know that there's a lot of people who are thinking Doge and Bitcoin don't belong together, and they may not. I think it's all a personal perspective, but really, it's really important to understand Bitcoin moves the entire crypto market, and no alt can escape Bitcoin's gravity. I'll prove this out on all the coins we analyze from here on in. It's really important to know this. What it does mean is that when Bitcoin repairs, these alts absolutely fly because they have a better BTC alt gearing ratio than what Bitcoin does. Let's have a look at Polkadot. Dot is currently trading at 11,531. It's just literally at support. It has another level of support below at 10,835. It has resistance above at $12 even and 12,911. If you've been in the community for any period of time, you will know that price is negatively biased. Let's have a look at Bitcoin's fingerprint and see what it's doing to DOT. This is just another example how no alt escapes Bitcoin's gravity. Look at this. You see this down here and then it comes straight back up. Look at DOT. It came down and it went straight back up. Bitcoin's fingerprint even works to the 1 second level. It's freaky, and it's absolutely a fact. You'll see it again and again and again. It's really important to understand. But I've seen a lot of YouTubers out there and a lot of people trading, and I think maybe only 1 or 2%, maybe 5% know at the most. Hopefully we can change that as a community. When people understand how Bitcoin's gravity impacts all alts, how Bitcoin's fingerprint causes these alts to sell off or to pump in price. Look at this V. See that? It's astounding. Look at this sell-off here. Here. See it coming down. It is literally a law. But what happens is sometimes alts go out of phase with Bitcoin. We're always interested in those because they show potential power. I'd like to also show you, because you're hanging in here, you're investing in your time. So it's all about giving you extra value. You remember how previously we talked about if price came back to this high, not an all-time high, just this high, price would go up in Polkadot 43.54%. Now, price has gone down there. What happens? This is magic. Remember, 43.54. Now, we'll go down and look and try and make it about as close as we can get. Look at now, it's 55%. This is the power of buying the falling knife. When you go down, if you go down from 10 to 5, you've fallen 50%, but you go from 5 back to 10, it goes up 100%. This is why price is negatively biased. The people that really understand the markets are looking for these price decreases. That's what makes them happy. As a professional trader and professional investor that you are, or you are enhancing, or you are becoming, look for these spikes. They're gold, literally. They're fantastic. Don't get freaked out by it. Get excited by it. Let's have a look at Chainlink. If Link goes back to this previous high just here, from here, it will make a 46.21% increase. That's not bad. That's better than bank interest. Let's have a look at Bitcoin's fingerprint. Look at this overlay. It's almost exact. It's scary, isn't it? This is a fascinating thing about the crypto market. Even though the crypto market is one of the most volatile markets on the planet, it's actually very impressively easy to trade when you understand all its secrets. This particular one, no alt can escape Bitcoin's gravity, is a key secret. I don't hear anybody else talking about it. Our community knows. That's a fantastic thing. That can make you a financial blessing, and more of a financial blessing to yourself and others. Just that thing alone. And there's so many secrets to share with you. Chainlink is currently trading at 14,516. It has support below at 14,171 and 13,769. Resistance above at 14,981 and 15,462. When you invest and when you trade, the most important thing you can ever develop is strength. Be greedy when others are fearful. Warren Buffett. Why did Warren say that? Because he knows how percentages work. A reduction from 10 to 5 is a 50% reduction. An increase from 5 to 10, back to 10, just back to break even if people held it. But if you buy at 5, it's 100% return. That's why prices are negatively biased. You're now thinking like an institution of one, but of course you're not thinking like institutions. We think on this channel from a very decent, loving, and kind way. When you get money, lots of it, if you don't have those qualities, you won't be really happy at all. It's important to live a full and really well-rounded life. Let's have a look at MATIC. MATIC is another community favorite. MATIC is currently trading at 74,668. It's just above support at 72,737 and just above that support 69,449. Resistance is 77,807 and 82,328. Remember what we did in previous examples. We put this percent. Now we're going to use Warren Buffett's secret rule that he doesn't tell anyone about why price is negatively biased. If we think about 52.38%, and now we're going to pull it down to roughly as close as we can get to the current price, which is about there. Look at that, nearly 67%. Do you see the power of buying the falling knife, buying decreasing prices? If you just make this a rule, buy at support with the understanding price is negatively biased, really you can't lose. It's money in the bank for you. I hope you found this content useful. Everything I do for you is free. Please be aware of scammers. I do these videos to assist you to be more of a financial blessing to yourself and those you love. Let's have a look at these Ethereum tokens. That's always a bit of fun. There we go. If you would like twice daily updates, 7 days a week on price movements in the crypto market, please join our free groups. We have one on YouTube, we have one on Twitter, we have one on Facebook, and one on Discord. They're everywhere and they're all free. They're full of incredible, amazing, and beautiful people, very welcoming, very kind, and everybody wants to help everyone in our groups. Please remember, crypto is volatile. Always prepare yourself for the best and worst case scenarios. Reality will likely be between them. Stay safe out there. Take care and see you next time. Bye for now.